Well, hello, people of Earth. It's Monday night, and I'm just getting up here, so give me a second to get everything kind of set up. But let's see who we got here. Mr. Bird, Lumpy Mexican Spec, Matthew Ward, Buddy's here. All right. Hello, folks. Let me get. Oh man, I'm behind. But that's okay. No harm, no foul. Nobody died. We can be a few minutes late. Dun, 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 dun. And we get this video queued up. Bow, bow, bow. All right, and my cursor. And so, how is everyone tonight? Well, I'm getting this set up. Going nowhere. Turn the volume up. Make sure I'm sharing it on the screen, which I'm not yet. There it is. KJ Kylie, Robert Meyer, Roy Miller, Jerry's here. John T01's here. KJ Kylie, Paul Bruto. What's going on, everybody? Like I said, I'm a few minutes behind. Forgive me, but here we go.
And then here's the challenge of burnout.
I feel so much better now that I got that out of my system. Let's close this. Let's open up Gmail so people can send in their stuff and photographs and whatnot. Johnny C. Hiller, Eric Wilson is also here. How the heck is everybody? Was only a couple minutes late. Crash Road Runners Garage is here. What's going on? Johnny C. The time warp is a simple explanation. Yes, the time warped from normal time, walking up the stairs, into normal time. How's that? My head's too high. There it is. We'll go with this. Why am I all greeny again? I don't have any light on me. This is ridiculous when you're late. All right, let's try this here. Dun, 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 dun. That's the wrong chord. Plug in this one. Plug in this one. Plug in this one. Blind yourself. Hey, all right, let's turn that down to where we have some skin tone when we can still see. Yeah, that's okay right there. Shannon's here. Ready for burnout weather myself? Yes. Me too. I think it finally cracked for us today off of our little weather. It was supposed to be only like 32 today, and it ended up being 46. So tomorrow, hopefully, is a little bit warmer. I got stuff to do, man. I can't play Let's Be Inside all day long. Yeah, about the same, about 47 tomorrow. That's nice. What is this message? Refund, single lantern hangout. Okay, cool. Hi. Let's see what's going on. Eric Wilson. KJ Kylie wish I had forgiving neighbors. Well, it's not that so much they're forgiving as they're scared to say anything. And we won't go into why that is, but it just is. It's going all right, but all the money I had saved to get me through the winter is now gone already. It's only money you can make more. You know, had to do the front brakes over the weekend. I need to find out if there's a TSB. Do you know a good website for those? Having to swap pads every 6 months. It has rear drums. You'd have to get with somebody's got access to the GM tools. because you should not need new brake pads every 6 months. That seems a little aggressive on the wear, but it happens, right? See if I'm forgetting anybody. So Lumpy Mexican Spec, Matthew Ward, Buddy Carfino, Roy Miller, Robert Meyer, KJ Kiley, Jerry Van. Hi, Jerry Van. Shadow Ups, Brandon, Mexican Spec, John T, KJ, Paul Bruno, Shannon, and Eric Wilson. All right. I guess that's everybody. Sold a bunch of stuff out of the garage over the weekend. Not either one of the El Caminos, but it was sets of tires, miscellaneous stuff, just stuff trying to clean the crap off the shelves and get stuff out of the way. I'm sick of tripping on everything. Robert Meyer says you have a heavy foot on the throttle and on the brakes. Yeah. Oh, she Sarah had desks never worn. It might just be, I don't know, the backs aren't working, so the fronts are having to do all the work. Or if your pedal's high, maybe you got a bad hose or something back, and it just feels like you got rear brakes and the fronts are having to do everything. Could be. Be like Paul Bruno and hit that like button. Art appreciates is when you hit the like button. He appreciates a lot of things. People showing up, people sending money, people becoming members. Just hit the like button. That's free. All that other stuff is so hard to do. But I have Jason's Garage. What's going on, buddy? How you been? You've been busy with the RV stuff, with the weather changing and stuff like that. Hopefully you were. But it's good that you're here. Appreciate it. I got some. Geez, I wish I could speak English some days. I have some. Well, mostly all the pistons were soaking in the degreaser about because a couple had stuck rings, so I had to degrease all of them, break them up, so I can get the rings off a couple. Where was I going? Oh yeah, but cleaning pistons for the 305. Right now, first set are the first set I got clean, but when they get clean, they get a little tight. So I take them out of the degreaser and I put them in a bucket of ATF. That loosens them all back up, breaks up some of the dirt, because when you put aluminum pistons that are dirty in degreaser and gasoline, all that dirt, it just like puffs out. It looks like cookie crumble on the outside of your pistons. It just wire brushes right off. But you take it out and you're like, whoa, I got a Chia Pet piston. So I scrape them off and then I throw them in the bucket of ATF overnight, and then that lubes me everything back up, and then I can wipe them off, take them apart. It's pretty easy. I changed my brake pedal push rod to adjustable one, hoping that it would solve my lack of brakes. Yeah, okay. Jason, yeah, it's been crazy busy. Many furnace repairs and water leaks. If you don't know, my buddy Jason, he has an RV repair. Is it Warrior RV? Hopefully I'm saying that right. So he can do all your kinds of RV repairs for you. Buddy, bought a riding tractor for $50. Neighbor moved, no room on truck for a John Deere. That's cool. That's how I got my riding lawnmower when I moved in this house. It's going on 11 years ago. It's a neighbor that was there. They've moved since. I just met him like a week, right? Hi, how you doing? Bop, 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 bop. And he was getting a new riding lawnmower dropped off. He had his old one behind the gate, and I'm like, "What are you doing with that one?" He goes, "Well, the deck is broke and blah blah blah, and it's hard to start and stuff like that." And I said, "Well, what do you want for it?" And he goes, "Give me $50." And I've been, for the last 11 years, I've been using that $50 riding lawnmower. It's a Bullens. Everything on it I've rebuilt twice. It's finally just starting to rust and fall apart. But yeah, I had to weld up the deck and the lift and stuff. It cuts beautifully. And when it does decide it wants to run, it runs nice. But it's starting to have just so many issues, and you gotta, every time it started is a pain in the ass. So I think I'm gonna have to retire my $50 lawnmower this year after 11 seasons of cutting. I could probably sell it and get $100 for it, but what I'm trying to say, buddy, is that's the best way to buy a riding lawnmower, because I don't want to spend $3,000. I don't want to spend all that money. It doesn't make any sense to me. A used riding lawnmower should be $50, right? Because this is my conundrum. Would it be nice to have a brand new mower so I can cut grass? And what is the point of cutting grass? Besides, we've been told since childhood, well, if the grass is too tall, you have to go outside and cut it, you see? Are we like harvesting the grass? Are we eating the grass? The grass seems silly. But that's enough about the grass. Jerry Bad bought my first new snowblower this year. Used it twice. It was $1,600. Yeah, I believe it. That's why I don't live up there, for one, and that's a story in itself. Since let's play story time. Story time with Dr. Art. First moved out of Wisconsin when I was 17. The military, was gone many years. After I got out, I really didn't have a base, which, hindsight now, I'd be like, well, W, you should have just did this. But you don't know when you're young. So I moved back there for many years, begrudgingly making it through winters, pretending like it didn't matter, but it did. And then I moved out shortly, then moved down south and came back shortly again. But then it was New Year's Eve, 1999 to 2000. That particular day, that new January 1st, 2000. And we had an epic snowstorm the night before. So you wake up, it's the first day of the new year, yay, and you go outside and there's 2.5 feet of snow. So what do? You break out the snowblower, because at the house I was living in, townhouse, we were downstairs, renter was upstairs. Long driveway, went from the street all the way past the house into the backyard and beyond. So you needed a snowblower. So I'm like, all right, I'll get up and do it. So I'm out there, and this was like a 700 horse snowblower, whatever the hell it was, but it would throw a cat 100 yards. And I get done, because in my head I've been wanting to move, and I was planning going out west and stuff like this, and I'm like, I just didn't pull the trigger mentally in my head until this breaking point. So it's freezing cold out, snow's blowing, you're bundled up like an Eskimo. Gonzalez Lopez from Mexico City. Hello, hola. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. I get done blowing the driveway, 2 feet of snow, do the sidewalk, blah, blah, blah. It's all done. I drive this thing into, the side back behind the house, making its own little path. I shut it off, and I went inside, and I called U-Haul and got a trailer to put behind my Ford Explorer, and I left the next day. I'm like, my cousin who was living behind, I'm like, yeah, snowblower is yours. Whatever I can't fit in this tow behind, you can have it. I'm gone. I left. Went out to Vegas because previously I had called a guy at a Toyota store who was the service manager a couple weeks before this. His name was Dave Peterson. And I'm like, I told him who I was, what I did, and stuff like that. And I said, hey, you got a job for me? And he's like, yeah, come on out. Trusting him, never met him before, other than basically a 4-minute phone call. I grab a stack of cash, my Ford Explorer, and all my crap, and my airplanes and tools and clothes, and I think a chair and a mattress, and I'm gone. A couple days drive cross country, show up in Vegas. I had tentatively rented an apartment online. I pulled into town. It was not the neighborhood I wanted to live in, so I stayed at a casino for the night, got up the next morning, found a more suitable apartment at the time. It was a dump too, but you don't know. And then got my stuff moved in, took a shower, changed clothes, went down to the talk to guy that I met at the phone, called for 3 minutes because you need to work. And I'm, hey, are you Dave? And he's like, yeah. I said, all right. I said, I talked to you on the phone a couple weeks ago, and you said you'd have a job for me. So here I am. And here came the long pause, like, yeah, okay. Because, not going to believe that I was ever going to show up there. But there you go. That's my snowblower story. So thank you, Jerry. What? He's pest like. What am I missing? Snake. Okay. Josh Holman, good to be here. How you doing? Keeps pests. Okay, you're on. Still got the Fender guitar for your quick trip down south you took. That's a whole nother story. We'll save that for another night. Like I said, Gonzalo Lopez, like I said, from Mexico City. Hello. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Josh Homan. Using roof rack to shovel. Using roof rack to shovel roof stinks worse than snow blowing a driveway. Yeah. Rob Meyer, I was smart enough to do that out of Minnesota here 40 years ago. Yeah. Has it been 40? Well, how old am I? Yeah. When I initially left, it was 40 years ago, 41. But then I came back, and then back and forth. And then, long story short, here I am, living in Tennessee for the last 13. When did we get here? 13 years ago? 13 years ago. Quite a bit north of you. Oh, okay. So what else happened? What else happened in the world? Uncle Tony did his rebuttal to my call out, which was kind of hilarious. People failure to miss the humor in all this, but what are you going to do? It's YouTube. It's not the real world. It's meant for entertainment. And D. Okay. I didn't do much with the El Caminos. I swapped over the tailgate I'm keeping onto the car I'm keeping. I cleaned out the red El Camino. Yes, you say the word interpreted in your video. Yeah. That's why I interpreted the rules. You can't go in soft with Tony. You have to really go for the kill shot, because otherwise it's not interesting to him. This way, now it's interesting. Now we have something to go back and forth about. If I would have came up with some, Look, I bought a 96 Taurus that I put snow tires on. Who gives a shit? You know? It wouldn't, there'd be no sport to that. You have to go way over the top and be ridiculous with it. That's just the way it works. I've known him long enough. This is how it plays out. And he'll come back with something even more ridiculous than what I did. So, and some new interpretation of the rule. Oh, you have to be, that's fine, but you have to eat a burrito and climb a tree and, blah, 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 blah. And now it's best of 3 runs. So there's something there. So who here is going to tell Dr. Hart that Kiwi Guy has some Burt Morrow Kiwi Fruit Speed Juice to aid in the winning against Uncle Tony? Only 53 cents per fluid ounce. What? Come on, Dean. I know you like to talk in riddles. Let him put it whatever juice he wants in. Remember, that 383, I did the heads on that toward the car part. I know what's inside. You can only go so much and so far and so hard with what's left there. See, he did get back to you, Spec. So there you go. So hopefully, what we're planning on doing this week. But Bert, the world's fastest Indian. Oh, okay. So we're getting context. All right. Fine. You could do whatever. Fucking bring it. Fine. See, win, lose, or draw. It's all fun for me. If you take it very serious, you're kind of missing the point. But that's okay. So what's going to happen this week? This week is a lot of the non-sexy, non-video stuff cleaning apart. More cleaning of the block, which it's pretty clean now. But it needs one good final, preparation of the decks of all the surfaces for all the gaskets. Make sure they're perfect. Just because everything is maybe not as super perfect on the inside, you don't want it to leak. So you make all your surfaces perfect and clean, and it just makes your life happy. A soap and water clean on the heads and on the block one more time, and then I could start laying in bearings and crank and like the cam and stuff like that, and then get as the pistons get done, knock them in one by one. And then, once your pistons are in, you bolt on your oil pump, put the pan on, flip it over, zip on the heads, and throw it in the car. Easy, right? So we're not that far away. It's just a lot of tedious cleaning stuff. Miss Specton Reed, KJ Kylie. How many U-Hauls would you need to move nowadays? Oh, God. Three 26-footers. Yeah, but if I was to move out of this house with all this stuff that's packed into this house, I'd probably have an estate sale. Seriously, because everything would have to go, because we got stuff packed in this house everywhere. Just look at the room: safes, bookcases, things, furniture, blah blah blah, more furniture stuff. And then there's a big closet right here that's packed, right? And then this desk that this is on, this desk is packed, and this is a big ass heavy desk. And then I have a file cabinet, and then all the audio equipment, and then the surveillance equipment, and then it's just madness. And that's just one room. And then you would go into the garage. And then you have to move all the cars to the new place, which I've done before when I moved out here. I brought the Cougar from Las Vegas on a truck and drove the other 2 cars, and then packed everything in pods, which is the way to do it. It really is the way to do it. They drop off massive pods in your driveway. You fill them up, and you call them and say, "Hey, they're filled. Can you bring them to this new place?" And they drop them off, and you unpack them, and they come pack them up, and you write them a check, and that's the easiest way to do it. But I'm not planning on that right now. So, buddy, what color did you decide for the block? Excuse me. I don't know yet. I've put on a layer of paint. I know that'll stick to metal, which is a shade of orange. It's not correct, but it's a good like primer. That's the color that it is now. I'm torn between that or black. I don't know. So it's not going to be gold because the car is going to be black, and if it's black, it's going to be black with like a silver stripe on the bottom, the bottom trim piece of the rocker all the way back, right? And then the wheels that are on that are like an argent rally wheel look. So if I did like a copper or a gold engine and stuff like that, it would not look right. Not a big fan of the Chevy orange. So if I was a betting person, I would probably say the majority of it's going to be black, but there's new intake. There's new, had to get a new front timing cover for it. The other one was just so gross. I don't want to clean it. And a new one with new bolts and everything. And a seal already installed is like $20. So winner, right? So I may just do everything in black. Aluminum intake, color distributor, red wires. Brand new carb, chrome air filter, all that bullshit. But orange or black. Flip a coin. Okay. This stuff is 27.04081632,653 times the price of regular 93 AKI. But it'll work a treat, like nitromethane for gas. Okay. He has the most stuff wins, right? A lot of stuff. But the thing is, they say the guy with the most toys wins, but you're still dead. Right. It doesn't, because you cease to exist. And once you ceased, you no longer own your property because you cease to exist. So other people own it and will sell it off on pennies on the dime for you. So it's basically a waste of time. Just have what you have when you're here, and then when you're gone, whatever, let somebody else deal with it. Vintage Adventure Drives. Good to my house. I'll be less than a mile move, but it's still going to be fun getting all 6 cars over there. Yeah. So yeah, just get a trailer one day. They just spend the whole day moving cars. That's all. Dean Stevenson. It varies with a 25% tariff. Dr. Art, 15 for the Kiwis, 10% for the Indians. Indian tax is split via 584 tribes. Huh. Seems ridiculous. Shops. Make the engine silver. Maybe. It's got a lot of accessories on it, because then it won't. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I always believe that black engine is the worst decision. It makes everything hard to see. Looks uncreative. Damn. I think it looks good. But you have to accent it, sir. Let me give you an example. As we pause for a dramatic example photo. But there's no way. Somebody help me dance. I need a love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, we're getting close. Hang on. Let's put these on and see so I can see what I'm doing. Not that it actually helps. Ooh, not going nowhere. It's got to be up here somewhere. It's got to be somewhere in my brain. Aha. Aha. See if you go black. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Is that? Why is that not focusing? Focus. Focus. There we go. Black aluminum intake, a couple accents, stuff like that. That's not too bad. That's livable. And here's a better picture of it. Because like you say, if you, come on. This was the small block Chevy that was in the Ranger before I put the LS in it. And that was just 3, 2, 1. There we go. Fade to black. Tip down. There you go. Yeah, I just had a gold timing cover, black valve covers, aluminum intake, carb red. It would look similar to that. So I was okay with that. Is it unimaginative? Sure, but it's an engine. I'm not, I give a shit if people want to look at my engine. Shannon. I thought doing YouTube videos was easy until I tried to make my first one. I couldn't even figure out how to run the camera on the phone. Still, yeah, it's a curve, dude. It's a curve. Most curve. Yeah, I did it. No, this one's like. If here's the what you can do to start, right? You have your channel set up, right? Put the YouTube app on your phone. And you go to the YouTube app, and there down at the bottom there's a plus sign, and it gives you if you want to post or do a short or a video and stuff like that. Just hit video, and it'll turn on and start talking. And when you're done, you push stop, and it'll do it and say, "Do you want to title this video?" Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and boom, you'll have your first published video. Then you go, "Yay!" and you go back and look at it and go, "Ooh, that's not done well," because they're never done well, the first one. And however your brain works, if you have to make mental notes, if you have to keep a little notebook or stickies or whiteboard or chalkboard or, I don't know, but that would be because you have to get the first one out. So that anxiety is gone. So when you get the first one out, you're like, okay, got it out, got it done. Yay. No one's watched it, but I got it out. Right. So try that. See if that works for you. And if that works for you, send me the link to it, or go to one of my videos and post a chat. Hey, this is Shannon. I posted my first video. Or if you just want to wait until next Monday and then send us the link, I'll put up the link. Well, you can't send a link, but say, hey, here's my channel name and I did my first video. Well, I'll watch it. So, just turn it on, talk. Hey guys, this is Shannon. This is my dad's Monte Carlo, and this is this car here, and da 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 da. have a nice day. Go get a cheeseburger. See you later. Bye. Boom. 2 minutes. And that'll get you, because the mental thing of talking to this phone like it's a person, that takes a minute. So it just takes a minute. So, okay, Dean Stevenson's back on this stuff. Actually, the U.S. gets a 25% cut, 15% to the government, 10% to 0.5 in the nation's people. All right. Gasoline is gasoline in Tennessee is $1.96 per fluid ounce. I don't think so. That's fluid ounce, not Florida ounce, peeps. Because gas here is like $1.96 a gallon. $1.96 cents per fluid ounce. Oh, I see what you're saying. I misread. 1.9. So it's 2 cents an ounce. 64 ounces in a gas, so you would have 2 times 60, so it'd be $1.20, say $1.35. It's selling for like $2.15, so taxes and stuff. Yeah, that's about right. I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's 100% right. I don't know. I just buy the shit. Four of the cars run and drive, and then the truck will get put in the shop so I can do body work on it and get the cab ready for the engine. I'll at least have a shop to work in finally. Nice. Good news. Nitromethane is significantly more expensive than 93 octane gasoline, generally costing 15 to 20 times more per gallon. Yep. You are correct, sir. All right. Let's make use of the original underhood fuse box for my standalone, but it's way too big. So I'm making a new one. Any cabin fuse box that's about 1/10 of the size. Yeah, like I said, all you need to run that one, if you can make it yourself, I don't know how you're doing it, but they sell a real slick one at Michigan Motorsports. They're on Amazon and the web and eBay and every place else like that. But Michigan Motorsports LS swap fuse blocks. With a 25% tariff and a small Kiwi handling fee, I could. Well, I might happen to know where there's a 55-gallon drum of nitromethane right as we speak. So it's unguarded. So it's basically free at this point. And it's fresh. Not that I would do that. Michael Key. I know it might be area specific, but Chevrolet blue might be nice. I think that motor was blue underneath all the grease and grime and stuff like that there, Michael. So I don't like their blue. And the car's basically going to be black. It'll be black and blue, but it's going to have a silver stripe. That's throwing me off. I'm trying to make it all. That's why I just want to do black. I found I really like brighter color, so it's easier to time the engine, find the spark plug holes, and see what it is. I'm on TLD, how I like engine colors. Yeah. But if you have a black balancer and you mark the slot with white paint, it's super easy to see, and you could see it during the day. So, Chevy Blue Flame Blue. Blue Flame Blue. Bunny. Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl? Bugs Bunny. I don't watch football. Just haven't cared in many, many years for it. I think it's all rigged. I think it's worse than the WWE. So I don't think it matters who you pick. And I know I'm probably offending everybody else here, but that's okay. It's a good reason to go to a buddy's house and eat some eat some dip with some Fritos. That's like the highlight, but I don't really care about the game itself. The commercials are always more interesting than the game, I think. So it's rigged. It's rigged. Don't tell anyone, but it's rigged. The whole thing. Yeah, all right. Hey, no, that's kind of how I figured out how to do stuff, time lapse stuff, since I wanted so it's left to do on the body work and boring to watch. And you can do time lapse on your with your cell phone and stuff like that. It's all on there. But get that first one done. Doesn't matter if it's just gibberish. Post your first video, because then you can go back and you go and then get the YouTube thing. I don't know where you got it. If you just got it all on your phone, or put it on your laptop, then go back in your laptop, go to your YouTube studio, look at the thing, look at the title, explore around there, figure out how to do stuff, watch YouTube stuff on how to title videos, and post them in all your analytics, and you can go just rabbit hole with the shit. But get that first one done. Get the first one done. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't pay attention. Yeah. 196 times 128, 250. That's divided makes by 100 makes 251 a gallon. Yeah, it's not quite that expensive here right now. It goes back and forth, but it went down. It went down today quite a bit. Silver block with black dress ups would be different. The only reason I don't want to do silver, all right, because it looks like you're trying to fake aluminum cylinder heads, right? I could do a silver block, but I would paint the heads black. That's just me. Doesn't mean it's right. Gail Clay, how are you? Thanks for being here. Come out to Arizona. The price of gas is $3.28 a gallon. This time of year, it's worth paying an extra $1 a gallon. Not to be cold, so good move on you. Gas was $2.70 a gallon last time I bought it. Here in the middle of Oklahoma, that's 100% gas. Just to be clear. I think Arizona would be cheaper. That's why gas is here up in New York State. Dino is very good doing the English to Swedish rude words translation as well. Mexican Spectre, been honest about how I know 0.5 language as well. Yeah. Well, Joe Top to you, sir. Yeah, that's what I do. I've looked at them. They're pretty nice, but I ain't got $2 to rub together at the moment. You don't want to rub your money together. It'll catch on fire. Yeah, Paul Bruno left SoCal a few months ago. Don't miss $5 a gallon. Yeah, that's on a good day. Yeah, not a sports guy either. Yeah, Paul's a music guy. So it's a good thing I have a tube amplifier, building skills. Yeah, that's right. You probably have 2 or 3 amps laying around the house, and you could probably sell one and get some good money together, or fix them, or I don't know. Do you do the side work, Eric, or is it just for fun for you? Do the side work. If I could, I have a couple real nice guitars that I cannot play. I'm a white guy with no rhythm, so but let me show you an example. Since we're just hanging around, let me show you an example. It's right here. Les Paul Studio in this kind of like mahogany. It's basically, I bought it, quote, used from a pawn shop from probably somebody who bought it and never played it. And I barely plate because, like I said, I like the idea of it, and it is an Epiphone. It is a Les Paul, but it's an Epiphone. So the cheaper version of the Gibson lineup, and it's badly out of tune. Ooh, we'll do this later. All right. But like I said, if I had a lick of rhythm, a lick of rhythm, or was able to hold a tune or or have an ear for what is a C, a D, E, and a G. I kind of know, but I can't tell, and I can't tune a guitar without a tuner. I have this one. It's just show and tell night here. Nothing to do with guitar stuff. I like this one. It's again a nice bright red Fender Stratocaster. This is a Squier, but it's a first run of the Mexican Squier series when they first came out with them a long time ago. Also badly out of tune, but yeah, nice guitars. Can't play them. I took lessons for years, and I could just go, just basic, basic Butterfingers type stuff. So you can play much better than I can. And if you're doing amps, you're way into it. So Vintage Adventure Drives. I always make fun of people who freak out over football. Call them nerds. It's funny to me how involved they get watching people many times going to work crazy over a game. Yes, I want these people in the blue shirts to win. It's fun for some. It's their thing. It's okay. As much as I like colored engine black, it's probably the best way to go. Everything that bolts on is shining anyway, so it makes a sort of background for this stuff. Yeah. Vintage Adventure Drives. Painted my aluminum heads red to match the rest of the engine, make the 440 Source stealth heads look like stock. See, you can go that way, right? But if you paint your steel head silver or aluminum, I have aluminum. No, you're 12, dude. People don't do that. A Slant 6 from Defector is black, and it still is. I will likely paint my Chrysler turquoise, maybe corporate blue. See, I like those colors on that car because that's what belongs on it. So that's something like Chevy orange. Orange is overdone, but I like the red. I'd like to paint engines red, which still may be an option. I may just red the whole thing and then just piss everybody off. Why'd you paint it red? It's a Chevy. Because I want it to, and it's mine. Josh Homan, and to one and all as well. Good evening to you, sir. I quit following sports 6 years ago. Wasn't easy to do in Pittsburgh. Yeah. But I think I assumed that I was New Zealand, so it added 20% to the cost because it's an Imperial gallon. Like, okay, Dean. I'll say that when my engine in the Scamp was black, the chrome valve covers looked horrible. Once I painted industrial red, those valve covers looked awesome. Color makes a big difference. Yes. And red's not a bad idea. I may just do red. He's gone. Dean Stevenson, he's back. Got a fresh shot of Ernie Ball. Beefy Stinky bass strings. For my B turn bass, got a set of even slinkier guitar strings for the guitar so I can have to be able to tune it. B, E, D, F flat and B. Okay. So it's tuned down. Okay. Only instrument I can play is the radio. Me too. I play the radio well. Everything else, no. I'd love to be able to do a piano or a guitar or some, instrument and do it with some kind of finesse. Yeah. My brain knows what I want to do, but my fingers won't do it. Holy wow, I have a friend that has a Les Paul Studio that looks exactly like that one. And he can have two. Make him an awesome deal on it. Hope you do bluegrass? No, don't do anything. Been playing bass for 14 and a half years now. Pretty good by now. Yeah, I took lessons for years. For a good, I'd say 2.5 years. And at my peak, I could barely get through a song. It just, my head is mechanical. It's not like flowy, like la 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 la. And I just don't understand the note progression and what it's just there's no room in here for such things like that. Okay, how you doing? Thanks, you sir, popping in. Granddad's Junk, what's happening, buddy? Oh, we're all just hanging out here talking about, yeah. Catch two with guitar strings. Okay. I once played a coffee pot like a drum back. Pro Bruno says red. You think red, huh? Okay. I have red paint. I have the same red paint that I painted the last two engines I did with the one off of Big Richard and the one that was in that Barracuda were both red. And what they did look good with the covers and some of the aluminum. So maybe there's something there. Johnny C. Private planes will be arriving this week. I remember SB-50 and there was lots of activity then at my local airport. I'm about 30 minutes from Santa Clara. SB-50. I'm missing something here, Johnny. Missing something. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Sean Anderson. Dr. Art, paint the engine forest green. Okay. It's a possibility. Won't rule it out. I'm the lead player in my local rock band. Nice. You got any videos of that, Eric? Oh, what did Buddy send me? I didn't see your email here, sir. Oh, it's the blue. See, that's hideous to me. And somebody Krylon this, but I'll share it. I'll share an example of why I'm not going to do blue. Not going nowhere. Somebody help me dance. La 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 la, yeah yeah yeah. See, I just because I mean somebody went in here and they hit the manifolds with silver spray paint and painted some of the wires blue and the stand for the people. This is how it's supposed to look. This is all just there and correct. But oof, I do not like the blue. Just don't. Thanks for sending the picture, but no, blue is not going to be an option. Dakota's Time and Sandman Ballistics are lead players too. Oh, okay. It's amazing how the instruments match the vocals. Okay. Been playing for 44 years now. Should be a millionaire already. Yeah, either that or it broke. So musicians go one of two ways. Whoa, what was that? Disturbance in the force. Super Bowl. Painting your engine red makes it look like a Buick. True. No videos, I guess I'm not cool enough. Okay. Video Sal, okay. But that's about it. So coming up this week, depending on the weather, I have that big Chevy 4x4 truck out in the driveway that I need to drop the tank down and repair the wiring to the pump or put a new pump in it. Or I don't know what it is, but it's not pumping juice up to the engine. You could squirt the engine with some brake clean and it barks right off. Sounds nasty. But I'm not getting any fuel, so I got to dig into that and make the fuel pump go zzz. So Randy can come get his truck, and you can continue to play with it, and I can get paid. So, and then if we have time, like tomorrow, I got to stop by Kiwi's real quick. And Ben Franklin, he's got a little project he needs 5 minutes worth of help with. So I may get a video out of that, get a video out of the truck, getting that running and taking that for a ride. And then once that is gone, I can back the Dos El Camino out and I can degrease and clean the engine bay because it's a mess. Throw out a bunch of wires, take out all the shit I'm not going to need. I should have a radiator coming for it this week and get it all set up to get all put back together. So you know that there might be something out there. If you Google the Rock Bottom Band in Northern Michigan, might find something no guarantees of. Well, let's take a look since Rock Bottom Band. Chrysler Industrial Red. Yeah, the last two engines I painted that color. I'll put that up in a second here. Of course, I have to do this. Rock Bottom Band, Michigan. Yeah, Lakeview Rock Bottom Live in Clarkston, Michigan. Rock Bottom Band. Detroit Rock Bottom. Ring guitar. I don't know if this is you or not. Hopefully we don't get struck down by the YouTube police, but I can say it is you. And then come on, stupid machine. We'll play a few minutes.
The Rock Band. If you're a blue-collar motherfucker like me, and you punch that goddamn clock every day for a living, this song goes out to you. Because everything out here is stacked against us. But we still fucking grind that shit, don't we? This song's called.
All right, before I get struck down. Eric Wilson, is that your people or no? That's not me. I'm in northern Michigan. All right, well, we'll stop sharing them. I don't know where it says, but that's all that was up there, I think. Let's go back, search. Rock Bottom Band. I get these guys. Oh, not going nowhere. They make this so difficult now to do this. Is that you, Eric Wilson? Nope. Okay, well, all right then. Adios. To them, didn't see anything, but we tried, which is the most important thing. Vintage Adventure Drive. My new guitar strings smell like chocolate in the package. Not sure what to think. It's the holidays, or it just was. Maybe they were. The guy packaging them was eating holiday chocolates. That's all it is. He's got a little extra on yours. And then, well, that brings us to an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your all assistance. Appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out if you already haven't, because it does help me continue to do this nonsense every Monday night for an hour. Appreciate each and every one of you. You need something on the flip side while we're out over the week, there's the email right there. Send me a message. But that's it. Good night. Adios. Talk to you later.